If you are looking for an alternative marketplace other than OpenSea, then this video is for you, as I'm going to go through two really solid alternatives. The first is a website called Rarible.com. It's actually very similar to OpenSea in regards to how you navigate around the website. For example, if we scroll down onto the home page, you can see we've got this section right here which says top collections in one day. And what this will do is, just like OpenSea, it will show you the most popular collections on the platform in the last day. You can actually filter through this and go for 7 days or even 30 days. This is really good to get a good idea of what projects in particular have been doing very well on that specific platform. You can also browse through these projects based on what blockchain these projects are built on, whether they're built on Ethereum or another blockchain like Flow. Typically, 99% of all the big projects are going to be built on Ethereum, which is exactly what the majority of the projects on OpenSea uses as well. Now, you are not just limited to viewing the top collections in the last specific days. You can just click see all right here. That will then open all of the collections on the platform, and you can see them organized in terms of volume. So this is the amount of volume that have been put through this specific collection, aka this is basically the amount of sales generated for this specific collection. So once again, it's very similar to how OpenSea does it as well. Once you find a collection you are interested in, for example, let's go to Little Heroes, or Little Heroes I should say. All you need to do is go ahead and open it up. So let's go for Bored Ape Yacht Club as our number one. And once again, once you're on a page, you can see some high level details of the whole collection. We can see the highest sell. So believe it or not, one of these NFTs below was sold for $3.2 million, which is absolutely insane. This is why this is literally the biggest NFT collection out there. We can also see what we call the floor price. So once again, the floor price, just how it is on OpenSea. This is the price of the cheapest NFT in the whole collection. So right now, if you wanted to buy one of these Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, you'd have to spend a minimum of $186,000. In fact, almost $187,000. Crazy, crazy, crazy. We can see how many items is in the whole collection, so just under 10,000. And we can also see how many unique people own items in this collection as well. 6.3 thousand people, which is over 0.5%, which is a really, really healthy number. You always want to avoid collections when you see, for example, there are 10,000 items and they're owned by, let's say, 1,000 people. Well, that means there's only 1,000 people controlling all of the NFTs in that specific collection, meaning if half of them choose to sell the collection, maybe they're in a private WhatsApp group or Discord, then that's going to have a big impact on the price. Meaning if you buy in at the floor price and they all of a sudden sell, that's going to have a big impact on the floor price. It's going to bring it down. I mean, your NFT is going to be worth a lot less money. So these are really good high level metrics to look at. And once again, it's pretty much exactly the same thing they have on OpenSea as well. And this is exactly why it's a really good alternative marketplace. Once you open one of these NFTs, so we'll go for this one, you can see you get pretty much the same details once again as we have on OpenSea. We get the details, the person who owns it, we get some details about the properties, how rare they are. You can see it just there, it's quite small. I will zoom in just so you can see that. And of course, if you do want to go ahead and buy this NFT, just go ahead and click buy. If you decide you want to go ahead and purchase this NFT for 71 Ethereum, which is absolutely insane, just to give you some context on how much money that actually is. At the time of making this video, 71 ETH is currently worth about 230,000 US dollars, which is absolutely insane. So if you have that money and you want to buy this NFT, then yeah, you can easily go ahead and do that. When you go back to the main collection page, you've got lots of the same filters as you have on OpenSea as well. You can sort all the NFTs by price from low to high, high to low, or even ones that are recently added. If we go ahead and click activity, just like we have on OpenSea, we can see all the activity related to this specific collection. Let's go ahead and click sell so we can see all the recent sales. So we've got one 22 minutes ago, but it isn't actually a sell. It's just removed from sell by this person. As you probably already figured, I click sales from the filters and it's not just showing me items that have sold, it's also showing me things that have been removed. So it's not the best when it comes to filters. However, let's scroll down and see if we can find a recent sale. We've got one right here 6 hours ago. This one was purchased from this seller for 100 Ethereum. A lot of money once again. You can actually click onto the seller profiles or buyer profiles as well. And you can also see what else they have in the collection. So you can see here's the one they just bought. And they've also got some other NFTs in their collection as well. You're probably wondering, well, what is the main difference between Rarible and OpenSea then? They all have lots of collections, they've got the same amount of filters, the same amount of options. Well, the two main differences between Rarible and OpenSea is number one, the biggest collections out there, they always launch on OpenSea first. If you are trying to be one of the first people to buy an NFT, once it comes onto a marketplace, your best bet is to use OpenSea. In addition to this, OpenSea also have much better support than Rarible. For example, if we scroll down to the support documentations by going to Help Center, you can see that it don't really have that many options. For example, if we click Getting Started on Rarible, they've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different like FAQs right here, which is not a lot whatsoever. If we go into another one, you can see they've just got one there. If we go into another random one, like verification, again, they've got 1, 2. FAQ, the main FAQ, well, there's just 10. Compare that to what you saw in the last video in OpenSea, and you'll start to see that OpenSea, excuse the pun, has a way better support catalog. Which, to be fair, is most likely because Rarible is more of a newer platform. This one actually launched in 2020. Another alternative to OpenSea is this website right here called Mintable, mintable.app. Again, I'm not going to kind of bore you and go through exactly how to browse collections, as we've already done that with Rarible. And to be honest with you, a lot of these marketplaces are very similar, and I really want to focus, of course, on giving as much value as possible rather than walking through every single platform one by one. So these are two good solutions if you are looking for an alternative to OpenSea. I will link to both of these in the resources. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.